Husband,
Yes, wife?
let's read the Bible.
But we're atheists. Why would we want to do such a thing?
Because we live in small town USA and everyone around us quotes this thing extensively and we have no idea how to respond?
That's true. Neither of us grew up with religion, yet Christianity is playing a huge part in our country's politics.
We're not scholars or academics, so Sacrilegious Discourse is our first take reaction.
This feed houses our reading of the book of Exodus, and each subsequent book will get its own separate feed too.
Why are we separating each book?
Not all podcast platforms allow access to older episodes. This will ensure our listeners don't lose access to any of our previously released material.
You can find our most recent episodes on our main channel, Sacrilegious Discourse.
That's right. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep. Husband.
What's up, wife?
Do you remember what happened last time? You don't.
I don't. It's been a little bit since we did the last one.
Yep. So here's what happened. Moses' father-in-law Jethro came to visit.
Okay.
Do you remember him? He gave him all this advice basically on delegating.
Oh, yeah, kind of.
That's basically what happened.
Right. And then, they made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
And then it was just do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's pretty much where we left off.
Okay.
So, can I tell you a real quick bit about the word Jethro? Okay. So your silence says not really, but I'm going to anyway.
Okay.
Okay. So when I was in high school, there was this boy, and I can't remember his name, but he referred to his dong as Jethro. And so he would always say, Jethro's in the house. Let him out the house, because he wanted to have sex.
That's really gross.
So every time I hear the name...
Way too much information from a human being.
Right. But every time I hear the word Jethro, the name Jethro, I cannot help but think of that.
What was wrong with that person?
That person was gross.
Obviously.
That's all. But now Moses' father-in-law is Jethro, and that's funny to me. That's all.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
so,
sure our audience really appreciated that story.
Oh, I think they did.
Yeah.
Well, if they didn't, they could feel free to let us know.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're moving on to Exodus chapters 19 and 20.
Sounds great. Let's do this.
Awesome.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there, so it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. Oh. But, we can definitely use any amount, so, any support is always appreciated.
So what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/Sacrilegious Discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, Exodus chapter 19. Ooh, that's a loud truck out there.
It is.
Okay, sorry. Exodus chapter 19. Israel at Mount Sinai.
All right.
So remember last time we were arguing over...
how to pronounce Sinai?
Well, yes, we were, but that's not what I was going to say. We were arguing over whether we had talked about Mount Sinai and going up there with all his commandments and stuff like that.
Right.
And we hadn't done that yet. And you were like, but then why are they talking about Mount Sinai and the ark and stuff? And I was like, because sometimes they jump ahead in time.
Wait, what is the ark got? Oh, the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Golly.
Well, there's the other ark that they floated on, way back in the Bible. So,
okay, yeah, this is the other ark we were talking about.
Okay, you got to be more specific when you say, because there's more than one ark in the Bible.
One of them, their arks.
It's the Ark of the Covenant.
The Indiana Jones ark.
That's right.
Not the
one
boat
that melts
ark.
your fucking face.
Yeah. Okay, so ready?
Yeah.
Exactly 2 months after the Israelites left Egypt, they arrived in the wilderness of Sinai. After breaking camp at Rephidim, they came to the wilderness of Sinai and set up camp there at the base of Mount Sinai. Boy, they say Sinai a lot.
Yep.
Then Moses climbed the mountain to appear before God. The Lord called to him from the mountain and said, "Give these instructions to the family of Jacob. Announce it to the descendants of Israel. You have seen what I did to the Egyptians. You know how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Now if you will obey me and keep my covenant, you will be my own special treasure from among all the peoples on earth."
And bitches, if you don't, I'm going to come down on you hard. Remember what I did to them Egyptians?
I was going more like Smeagol from Lord of the Rings. My precious, my special treasure, my precious. "And you will be my kingdom of priests, my holy nation. This is the message you must give to the people of Israel."
Why can't he just tell him his fucking self?
I don't know. Because he likes to delegate. So Moses returned from the mountain and called together the elders of the people and told them everything the Lord had commanded him. And all the people responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has commanded." So Moses brought the people's answer back to the Lord.
They all responded at the same time, same answer?
It's what it says.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
To get that many people, because there was a lot of people.
There was like thousands of people,
to get
probably,
them all
right?
to say the same thing at the same time.
They said
that's
the exact same thing at the exact same time. And somehow the Lord didn't already know it because Moses had to go back up on that mountain and tell him.
I think he just likes making people suffer.
That's what I think, too.
Yeah. Because why does he got to get the message on top of a fucking mountain?
Right? Like, could you imagine? I'm sorry, babe. You have to climb that mountain over there.
I mean, couldn't it just be like, just outside of town somewhere?
Like, knock on the door. Why you got to climb a mountain?
Or like, dude, you've been in people's heads before. Couldn't you just whisper it in my dreams?
Couldn't you just be a burning bush again? Like,
perfect.
There's bushes
then
right
I don't gotta
out front.
fucking climb a mountain 15 times.
Yeah, I don't want to climb a mountain.
Fuck that.
I don't even want to climb. I don't even like climbing the front steps of my porch, much less a fucking mountain. Then the Lord said to Moses, "I will come to you in a thick cloud, Moses." Oh my gosh. "So the people themselves can hear me when I speak with you. Then they will always trust you." Moses told the Lord what the people had said. Then the Lord told Moses, "Go down and prepare the people for my arrival. Consecrate them today and tomorrow, and have them wash their clothing."
What does consecrating mean?
Make holy.
Okay.
So, like, if you consecrate ground, then you make it holy. So, like...
So, how do you make people holy?
Well, they have to bathe certain ways, like, with certain things, and they have to wash their feet, like...
If anybody hasn't chopped their dicks yet, they gotta chop their dicks.
Right, all that stuff. Like, there's different rules for different religions on what it means to be consecrated. Consecrated.
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to say somebody's consecrated just because, they said so. But it's just taking all of these actions to prepare oneself to be in a holy presence.
I wonder how you consecrate yourself to be in the presence of the flying spaghetti monster.
That is a good question. But, like Wiccans, they will consecrate themselves. Like, they will bathe in certain herbs and oils. And, some of them will, like, I don't know, like, drink certain kinds of teas and whatever, and I don't know, you prepare yourself. Things about to get holy, don't you know?
Motherfucker's about to get holy. Okay,
shit's about to get holy.
Let's do this shit.
Right.
Consecrated. Yo.
Be sure they are ready on the third day, For on that day the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai as all the people watch. So you guys got 3 days to take a good-ass bath and get your clothes
coming down in a cloud.
Yeah. He's going to be a cloud.
Big old cloud. He likes those clouds, actually.
He likes clouds, but one time he was also pillars.
Right. And then I'm going to start checking out some clouds. Like, dude, are you up there?
Oh.
What's up?
Maybe God is in a cloud.
Maybe he talks to us in clouds.
But
he won't talk to me.
No, he doesn't like you.
Yeah. Fuck.
Mark off a boundary all around the mountain. Warn the people, be careful! Do not go up on the mountain or even touch its boundaries. Anyone who touches the mountain will certainly be put to death. No hand may touch the person or animal that crosses the boundary.
Hold on.
What?
Have you ever been to a mountain?
Yeah.
You know how big a fucking mountain is?
Yeah, the base is like, you don't even know where the base is, and like suddenly you're like, oh, I guess I'm in the mountain
even
now.
A small mountain,
right.
To put up a boundary around the fucking mountain, that would take weeks, if not months.
Yeah. And really, like, how do you decide this exactly right here is where
right, because it's not like really defined, because it starts sloping up way before.
Right, they didn't have levels back then.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah.
What if you get it wrong?
Oh, well then, no man may touch the person or animal that crosses the boundary. Instead, stone them or shoot them with arrows.
Holy shit.
That's what.
So they had arrows back then, huh?
Apparently they had arrows, but not elevators.
Gotcha.
They must be put to death. However, when the ram's horn sounds a long blast, then the people may go up on the mountain. Burr, 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 burr. So Moses went down to the people. He consecrated them for worship, and they washed their clothes. He told them, get ready for the third day, and until then, abstain from having sexual intercourse. I think Moses made that one up, because God did not say that, but I guess...
I mean, all God ever said was, be fruitful and multiply, except for on these 3 fucking days.
Right?
Don't be fruitful and multiply on these 3 days.
But actually, God did not say that. He just said, take a fucking bath and wash your goddamn clothes.
Whatever.
Y'all stink.
I mean, they just throw shit out in left field sometimes.
And don't forget that sex is bad always, forever. Except if you're having babies. And women, you better not enjoy it ever.
Except for that he told everybody to fuck all the time at the beginning of the fucking Bible.
Right, right.
So.
But that was only to excuse men. Because men are allowed to be lusty man whores.
I guess.
Women are not ever to enjoy it. Right. Ever. Ever. Women cannot want sex or like it or enjoy it. They need to resent it the whole fucking time. And they are whores if they like it, don't you know?
That's what God seems to say.
Well, God can suck a dick. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Or he can eat my whole entire ass. Whichever. I'm not picky. Whichever God prefers. Suck a dick, eat my ass, whatever.
Eat some moldy Fruit Floops. I mean...
Fruit Floops?
Fruit Floops,
What's a Fruit Floop?
It's a non-branded version of Fruit Loops.
Or you messed up.
I mean, there's that possibility, too.
Okay. On the morning of the third day, thunder roared and lightning flashed, and a dense cloud came down on the mountain. Was the cloud because of the storm, or was it God? Which one? What do you think?
I mean, if you're asking me, it's a fucking storm.
Right.
But
what do you think?
Obviously, it's God.
It's God.
I mean,
it's God.
To the Bible.
There was a long, loud blast from a ram's horn. Burr, 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 burr. And all the people trembled. Moses led them out from the camp in the rain. I added that part.
Sounds safe, walking up a mountain in the fucking storm?
No, they didn't go up the mountain. They just came out from the camp.
Oh, okay, sorry.
To meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. See? In the rain.
Okay.
In the rain. They're all gathered around.
All right.
All of Mount Sinai was covered with smoke because the Lord had descended on it in the form of fire.
That sounds safe.
That's not a cloud.
That's not a cloud.
He lied. Or he messed up.
Something
went wrong. Something went awry. The smoke billowed into the sky like smoke from a brick kiln, and the whole mountain shook violently. Damn, that sounds like a volcano, honestly. As the blast of the ram's horn grew louder and louder,
Were they sure they're not just conflating two things, like they were maybe warning people because the fucking volcano's about to blow versus God showed up, maybe?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling you what it says here.
Okay.
As the blast of the ram's horn grew louder and louder, per my example, Moses spoke, and God thundered his reply. Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. The Lord came down on the top of Mount Sinai and called Moses to the top of the motherfucking mountain. So Moses climbed the mountain, the one that was shaking, just then.
And fire on it.
And fire, and a storm.
Yeah.
God, would you climb that fucking mountain?
No.
I'd be like, come on. You are God, so you know this is wrong. You know this is mean. Don't be mean. Come on, God. Do not make me climb a mountain. That's just mean.
You can just snap my frickin' fingers and get me up there in an instant.
Right, like, I am all ears, but there's no reason I should have to climb a fucking mountain to hear what you want to tell me.
Besides, you want these fuckers to hear too, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's why I thought he came down. He came down in what was supposed to be a cloud, but turned out to be smoke from a fire, so that all the people could hear, and then he said, psych.
But if you're higher than other people...
That was funny, and you just totally dismissed it.
I'm sorry.
God said psych.
Somebody out there is laughing for you, and it was... they got you covered.
Oh my God, I hate you. What now? You're mean.
By being higher on the mountain, it makes you more important.
I guess.
So that's why he's got to go up.
But if he's up on the mountain, the people can't hear him, because he's not God.
Right.
So, I don't know. The whole thing is questionable at best. Then the Lord told Moses... Go back down. Jesus Christ. Oh, I did not see that coming. Go back down and warn the people not to break through the boundaries to see the Lord, or they will die. Oh my God. This is terrible.
Couldn't you have told him to tell him that before he walked up the fucking mountain?
Right? What if somebody crossed the boundary before he got back down?
Apparently they're dead.
Whatever. Even the priests who regularly come near to the Lord must purify themselves so that the Lord does not break out and destroy them. You got to watch out for the Lord, which is me.
Didn't he have them do that?
You got to look out for me. You never know when I might.
You could just not kill him.
Right. You could just not. But Lord, Moses protested, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai. You already warned us. You told me mark off a boundary all around the mountain to set it apart as holy. Good for Moses, standing up for the people.
Right.
But the Lord said, you go down and bring Aaron back up with you. In the meantime, do not let the priests or the people break through to approach the Lord.
Who's he bringing up with him?
Aaron, his brother.
Oh, I thought it was just supposed to be Moses going up the fucking mountain.
No, now Moses is like, dude, you're telling me a thing that's against what you just fucking told me, asshole. And God did not like being talked back to, even though Moses was right. So he's like, fuck you, bring Aaron with you the next time you come up.
Got it.
Okay. Do not let the priests or the people break through to approach the Lord, or he will break out and destroy them. So Moses went down to the people and told them what the Lord had said.
Okay.
The Lord wants me to repeat to you again about don't cross the boundaries, just like he did the last time I climbed up the fucking mountain. Still don't. And for some reason I had to climb all the way up for him to repeat that and come back all the way down to tell you again. So please still just don't, because otherwise he's going to get real pissed and then we have to stone you and shoot you with arrows because...
Right.
Because...
Blah, 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 arbitrary rule following, blah, 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 arbitrary
and
rule
also,
following. Blah, 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 arbitrary rule change.
Right. And also, Aaron, Aaron, I need you to come with me.
Yeah.
If you were Aaron, wouldn't you be like, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah, he's fucking around with us.
He's a petulant child.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens in Exodus chapter 20.
All right. See you guys there.
Oh my God, husband, guess what?
What?
We have finally reached, boom, boom, boom,
the
Ten Commandments. Okay, Exodus chapter 20, the 10 Commandments. Then God gave the people all these instructions. There's only 10. I am the Lord your God who rescued you from the land of Egypt, the place of your slavery. You must not have any other God but me. You must not make for yourself an idol of any kind or an image of anything in the heavens or on the earth or in the sea. You must not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God who will not tolerate your affection for any other gods.
So he totally admits he's jealous.
He does.
He just says it straight up.
He does. Now, there is some question as to what he means by other gods. Some people say that, by false idol, he also means, money and, basically anything that you can get addicted to.
Sure, I've heard that.
You worship.
But then again, throughout the Bible, they've also referenced they've alluded to other gods. Actual gods.
Yeah. So, there's question here, though, as to whether he's doing that in this instance.
Right.
I would say either way is correct.
I mean, isn't the Bible all about whoever wants to interpret it however they want to?
Sure.
So, I mean,
sure.
Whatever.
I mean, basically he's saying don't worship other gods, whether that means like legit gods who are magical and powerful and whatever, but also don't make false idols, meaning don't worship things that are just things. Don't worship money. Don't worship Netflix. Don't worship fancy designer jeans. Don't worship your record player, even though it's totally retro and cool now.
Right.
So whatever. Stop coughing. Oh my God.
I'm really sorry. Really sorry. I choose to look at, like I said, people interpret it however they want to. I interpret the Bible as a way too popular work of fiction.
Right. Yeah, I get that. I lay the sins of the parents upon their children. That seems fair. The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generations of those who reject me.
Good Lord. Talk about not being able to live down what you've done.
That is not fair.
Not only have to live down what you've done, but what your parents did, what your grandparents did, your great-great-grandparents, and your great-great-great-grandparents.
Wait, no, it's just the third and fourth generation. So for, like, me, it would be my mom and dad, my nanny and papa, their parents, so that would be my great-grandparents.
Okay.
And then the next ones, which would be...
All right, sorry.
So it goes...
Whatever. It goes back to
parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and then great-great.
Right. It's bullshit. That's
it is bullshit, because think about this. Do you even know the names of your great-great-grandparents?
No, I don't think I could even name my... Well, I could name maybe one of my great-grandparents. I met them all, but, like, I was little, so...
See, I never even met my great-grandparents, much less my great-greats.
Right.
So, this is bullshit. That's all I know.
Right.
I'm not getting punished because of what great-great-grandma did back in a time when there wasn't even fucking internet and telephones were not working yet. They didn't even have airplanes and shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, I'm not getting punished for anything.
Well, this is a different time. Back then, they might not have had papyrus or something.
Right, but they lived for hundreds of years.
Maybe. We haven't really clarified that exactly when that stopped.
Well, that's true. It seemed like they lived a good 125 years.
Right. And if we're going back 4 generations...
That's forever. No, just no. No.
Right.
The entire family is affected, even children in the third and fourth generation of those who reject me. But I lavish unfailing love for 1,000 generations on those who love me and obey my commands. What if somebody is like, God is great, God is good, blah, blah, blah. But then like 3 generations later, somebody's like, no, I don't anymore.
It sounds like you just gave them a pass.
Right. So it's like, okay, which one is it though? Are you going to make the 1,000 generations forward good?
Maybe it's only the 1,000 generations if every one of them...
Every one of 1,000 generations? Jesus, Marie, that is ridiculous.
Right. They got to keep it going. Push, pay it forward.
No. This is all a big... It's a no for me, dog. You must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. The Lord will not let you go unpunished if you misuse his name.
How do you misuse his... Well, God damn it, maybe?
Well, that's taking his name in vain, but I would say that being a false prophet and using his names for causes, much like the Republicans do today, that God does absolutely not represent or go along with.
Or, like, instead of saying, like, you could be like, Yahweh off! It could be like a,
That's not okay. That made me very uncomfortable. I didn't like that. I feel like that was, I don't know, I feel like that was insulting.
Really?
Yeah. Like, not to me, but to, like, people who take this shit seriously. Like, I think Jewish people refer to God as Yahweh. So,
right.
Like, I don't want to insult them. I mean, I think that their religion is bunk. That does not mean that I think they are bunk.
We've called God a dick multiple times.
I know, but we haven't
called... an asshole.
Right. The Christian God of the Bible we have called a dick. But to say other names of other gods is, to me, You know what? I'm going to have to sit on this. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why it's okay to make fun of Christians but not other religions. But maybe it's because of where I live and the Christians around me are fucking ridiculous and they tried to overthrow the government. Maybe that's what it has to do with. Maybe because they're gullible fuckers and they do use the name of God in horrible, ridiculous ways and don't actually stand by what they claim God stands for.
Yeah, and it obviously doesn't affect them any, so.
I know. I'm trying to reason it out in my head why I can make fun of Christians but not other religions.
Gotcha.
And I think it's because religions suck, but Christians suck hard. I think that's what it is.
Got it.
I don't know. I'll have to think on it.
Okay.
Remember to observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest, dedicated to the Lord your God. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine having to work 6 days a week instead of 5 days a week?
That'd be awesome.
Fuck that. A 6-day work week?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Like right now we have a 5-day work week.
Well, he's saying that 6 days are yours, the 7th day is mine. So
no, he just said you have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the 7th day is a Sabbath day of rest, dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work.
You got to keep in mind, though, back then, work meant taking care of your home and doing your own crops and taking care of the things. Like it was basically chores that you had to do to sustain your life in the world because it was very odd that people would have a job that they would go to and get paid for.
Okay, that's true. All right. No, because they had taxpayers and shit like that.
I'm not saying that they didn't exist, but most people were just tending the house, and most people were tending their own plot of land and stuff.
Their crops and their animals and whatever. This includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, slaves, your livestock, and any foreigners living among you. Could you imagine, like, you go to stay at Uncle So-and-so's house, and you've never heard of this fucking religion, and you're just going about your own thing, and then you get in trouble because you worked on the Sabbath?
Right.
I'd be like, bye.
Yeah.
For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and everything in them, but on the 7th day he rested. That is why the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and set it apart as holy. That's why. Mm-hmm. That is why.
Yeah.
Honor your mother and father, then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. I mean, sometimes, yeah, but sometimes your father and mother believe in Q. Do you still have to honor them?
No.
Sometimes your mother and father, I mean, some people have shitty parents. Like, I don't have shitty parents, but I mean, they're kind of Q followers, so, you know.
Yeah, that bothers us.
Yeah, like, I don't know. The honor your mother and father, like, what does that mean exactly? Like, obey them no matter what? Because that's what I've always heard it interpreted as.
Right.
Like, would you obey your parents? Do you obey your parents? You're 40 whatever years old. Do you obey your parents?
I mean, I listen to their advice.
You listen and consider it. Do you always take their advice?
No.
So then you don't honor your parents.
Moreover,
you don't
they wouldn't
obey them.
tell me what to do.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, there's that.
Know. But think about, like, we know some people who have, like, abusive parents, right? Should they honor their parents?
No.
So, I'm not down with that rule. There needs to be caveats, and there aren't. This is just do it. The end. Fuck off. Okay, the next one is, you must not murder. I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
But what about self-defense? Maybe that's not considered murder.
Clarifying point in there.
Maybe that's not murder. That's self-defense.
Right.
I mean, as per these words.
Yeah.
But also, what about if you know that somebody is about to commit a crime of murder, but they haven't done it yet? Is it murder to stop them from murdering?
Right.
What if you come across somebody that you totally fucking know is a pedo, and for whatever reason, the law has not caught up to them, but you were a witness and you saw them pedoing, and you just get it into your head, I need to take this guy out because I just saw him do it again, and the police won't get him.
I mean, legally, that wouldn't work out well for you.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, if you decided to out a very well-known pedo, like Epstein, right? Like, let's just say you took it in your head, I'm going to out this guy. He's done.
Right.
And I have the means and the skill to kill him and get away with it. And that's just the way it is because the law has failed because it always supports rich people. I'm not condoning this. I don't believe in murder. But would I be mad at the person who did that? I don't think I would.
Oh, I wouldn't be mad at him, no.
That's what I'm saying. Murder bad, but sometimes caveats.
Right.
Okay. You must not commit adultery. See, okay, here's what I think about that. Like, I don't think that should be a religious rule. I think that should be a couple's rule.
Yeah, that's...
Like, that's none of anybody else's business.
God seems to condone adultery.
Yeah.
Earlier in the Bible. So, like, that seems like a ridiculous rule to me because he's like, you can have slaves as do this and
you
take
can
other
have a
people
billion
as,
wives.
Right. Like, what exactly is adultery?
It means women are not supposed to enjoy sex and have lots of it.
I think it basically means for him, for God, I think it means women can never be with another person.
Yeah.
Not men. Yeah. It doesn't even apply to men.
Yeah, because women were expected to marry their husband's brothers or what the fuck ever.
And to me, that's bullshit.
That is bullshit.
So.
And anyway, like, what if you and I had something happen in our marriage, whatever, and one of us cheated, and that was horrible and bad, but then what if we worked through it? You know what I mean? Like, what if we really put everything aside and we went to counseling and we got our shit together and we came out stronger in the end? Like, you don't get to punish my husband for me, or you don't get to punish me for my husband. Like, we took care of that ourselves. That's a couples and counselor thing. That has nothing to do with, to me, God has no say in that.
Right.
You must not steal. I mean, what if your children are starving? Wouldn't you steal? Would you steal for us?
Oh, yeah.
See?
In a heartbeat.
I have stolen pens from my office.
Who hasn't?
I mean, I'm not saying that, like, I maliciously set out to take all I could get. But sometimes your boss has a really cool pen, or your company has, like, a mug full of really cool pens, and they write really good. I work there 8 hours a day, okay? I work there 8 hours a day at least. So 40 hours a week at least. And you're telling me I can't use one of these fucking pens on my own time when I spend more time with my job than my family.
Right.
The only thing I do more than work is sleep. That is bullshit. Considering that part of my waking off time is not spent with family. It's spent doing housework and chores and errands and doctor's appointments, showering, getting ready for work, working out if you're into that kind of thing. Like, I spend so many hours working and I can't have a goddamn pen? Fuck you. I'm taking the fucking pen.
Take it.
I'm taking it. So, I mean, also, but I would steal food to feed my family.
Right.
So, but I stole a peppermint patty from a store when I was 4 years old, and that was wrong. That was bad. You shouldn't steal just for stealing's sake.
Right. There should be purpose behind it.
There should always be purpose behind your stealing.
Well, I mean, there should be a good reason why you're doing it if you're
Caveats. Again, don't just go around murdering people.
Right.
But, you know, if you see a rapist and you feel like killing him, I don't know.
Obviously, stealing is wrong, you know?
Stealing is wrong. Murder is wrong. Generally speaking. Yeah. These are just too general. I don't like it. You must not testify falsely against your neighbor. Yeah, don't be a fucking lying douchebag and get somebody in trouble, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
But just your neighbor.
Yeah. Well, I think they mean neighbor differently than we mean it.
I know.
Because I don't even know my neighbor on one side, so... Right. Anyway, you must not covet your neighbor's house. So, like, don't be jealous and whatever. Even though he's a jealous God. You don't be jealous.
Was it always house, or I thought it was the wife?
And you must not covet your neighbor's wife, male or female servant, ox or donkey, or anything else that belongs to your neighbor. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
You're not supposed to covet your neighbor's spouse, belongings, anything.
Oh, okay.
Like, you're not supposed to be jealous of what they have. You're not supposed to conspire.
But he's a jealous fucking God.
He's a jealous God, but you're not to be a jealous person.
That's bullshit.
You're supposed
He's a hypocrite.
He is but we've already said that.
I know.
But on that one, you're supposed to be better than God.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
Bullshit.
I do too. Yeah, definitely.
Sorry.
And also, like, I don't act on it, but I am jealous sometimes of people who have lots of money and spend it stupidly. Like, there are families, and I'm sorry if you're one of the people listening to this, but I know families that go to fucking Disney, whatever, every summer. And it's not that I want to go to Disney, because I really don't. But I'm just like, who the fuck has thousands of dollars and what they spend it on is fucking Disney every summer with their dumb kids?
Oh, I got the answer. Not us.
Not us. But even if I had that money, I wouldn't spend it that way. And I know it's all, well, who are you to decide how people spend money? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I am jealous of the money that they have, not the trips to Disney.
Right.
And also people who buy yachts. Not just one yacht, but like lots of yachts. Like, fuck that, man. You are dumb with your money.
I knew yachts were going to come up.
How did you know yachts were going to come up?
Because I know you. Yachts is always one of those things that you rail against.
I don't rail against yachts. I rail against people that have to own a yacht. Like, the sign of wealth is that you own a fucking yacht. Like, who even wants to own a yacht? Who wants to go on a yacht all the time enough to own one?
I would like a sailboat.
Okay, but would you actually like the sailboat and do all the work put together in it all the fucking time and do all the work on it all the time?
No, mostly I'd just like to be able to rent a sailboat a lot.
Yeah, you would just like to be able to have access to one regularly.
Right.
And that is different from ownership of one. Right. Wouldn't it be nice? Like I know if we go downtown, they have like those paddle boats and whatever, and you can canoe around in whatever and in the river downtown. Mm-hmm. And that's cool. Like, you don't have to own it. You can just use it and put it back. Like, social use. Oh my God, I said socialism. Oh shit. I'm about to have the lightning hit me.
We're going to apologize now for the length of this episode. We're on ranty mode at the moment.
I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, I'm continuing on. That was the Ten Commandments, same chapter, but now we're on the people's fear.
Okay.
When the people heard the thunder and the loud blast of the ram's horn, burr, 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 and when they saw the flashes of lightning and the smoke billowing from the cloud, they stood at a distance, trembling with fear. I mean, I'd be scared too, all that shit going down.
Right.
And then they said to Moses, you speak to us and we will listen, but don't let God speak directly to us or we will die. I mean, that's not what I would say. I would be like, I don't believe you. Right? Like, wouldn't you? Like, I'm sorry, Mo, I don't believe you.
I'll do a little question here.
Yeah. Don't be afraid, Moses answered them, for God has come in this way to test you. And so that's your fear of him. And so that your fear of him will keep you from sinning. Because everything's a fucking test.
And everything's about fear.
Fear, test, fear, respect, fear, bow.
Can't be mutual respect.
No. None of that. And also climb up the mountain 1 billion times.
Right.
As the people stood in the distance, Moses approached the dark cloud where God was. And the Lord said to Moses, say this to the people of Israel. You saw for yourselves that I spoke to you from heaven. Remember, you must not make any idols of silver or gold to rival me. Build for me an altar made of earth and offer your sacrifices to me. Your burnt offerings and peace offerings, your sheep and goats and your fucking cattle. Build my altar wherever I cause my name to be remembered, and I will come to you and bless you. If you use stones to build my altar, use only natural uncut stones. Do not shape the stones with a tool, for that would make the altar unfit for holy use. And do not approach my altar by going up the steps. If you do, someone might look up under your clothing and see your nakedness. The end.
It says that?
It literally says, if you do, someone might look up under your clothing and see your nakedness. Put on some goddamn underwear. Okay, I know. They didn't wear underwear back then. Like, he's like telling them these life skills, very important things. Also, don't look up each other's dresses.
I'm sorry, but that alone proves that God is not real. What fucking God? It takes a minute to say, they're going to be looking up your dresses if they go upstairs. So,
by the by.
What?
Oh, by the by, you might want to invent undies, because if you come worship me and climb upstairs to worship me, that's the important part. Somebody might see your dong.
Oh, that totally made this chapter worth it.
You know what's really funny? Like, tell me that most of the people haven't seen each other's dongs. And by people, I mean, of course, the men. right? They all pee and bathe in front of each other, right?
Right.
And they've all fucked all the women, right? They fucked all the slaves, right? Every man has seen every man's dong, and every woman has probably seen every man's dong as well. But by God, not when they're worshiping and climbing up the stairs to do so.
Yes, very important.
Jeez. All right, I'm done. I'm so mad. This is pissing me off. So, okay. That was Exodus chapters 19 and 20, and we'll be back next time with Exodus chapters 21 and 22.
See you guys later.
And our underwear. Bye! Husband.
Yes, wife.
Is there a way for people to contact us?
Well, sure. They can get on our Twitter account.
We have a Twitter account?
We do.
What is it?
It is Sacrilegious_D.
Like D for Discourse?
Yeah, they wouldn't let me put the whole thing, so I had to shorten it to _D.
I hate them.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
How do you spell sacrilegious? Do you know?
I don't want to. Just look it up in a dictionary or something. I don't want to do that right now.
You know why?
Sacrilegious_D. Okay?
Because you messed it up and I made you fix it. That's why.
Yeah.
What about an email?
Yeah, we got that too.
What is it?
Sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com.
Oh, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
As long as you know how to spell sacrilegious.
Right. Well, definitely get a hold of us. Let us know what you thought of the episode. And, any comments, hate mail. We love that kind of stuff.
Also, you could answer some questions that we leave throughout, or correct my pronunciations.
Yeah,
which are probably
please.
Bad, wrong, and horrible.
Because we suck sometimes.
Absolutely.
Oh, also, if you like this shit or whatnot, give us a like on your podcasting app and stuff, or even leave a comment or something.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Goodbye.